Hey, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Reverend Joey Manuel, Master Joey Manuel of the Temple of the I Am. Maybe I should give you some basics on how I met Lord Melchizedek on high, High Priest of the heavens, and he has been known and seen in Genesis and several places in biblical scriptures, but he's also known in many places of non-denomination. And I was studying to become an angelic self, and I was studying parts of myself that was going to the core, like what I teach right now. And the core of who I am and why I started to feel like happy and get to know me and whatever was depressed or upset or whatever, and I would channel, and all of a sudden I kept asking Jesus to send me some help, and I said, and I worked and I insisted and I said, okay, God, what do you want from me? And I had clear blue one time when I least expected it caught me, because that's exactly why we need to meditate, because that way things don't catch you off guard. But I love the way how Lord Melchizedek and the council of 12 by 12, the 144,000 and the Elohim, what does that mean? That they wrote that to me in a message that I received in the middle of an angelic class that somebody else was teaching. Now, I didn't know who it was, so I told my teacher. She was very advanced, Omian. And then my teacher, Omian, she goes to me, that is incredibly powerful. And when I sat in her temple, the way of spirit, she had a part where she said, step up to the plate and be who you truly are. And I allowed the energy to help me move to where I needed to. I stood up straight, and my mouth just said these words: I am Archangel Emmanuel Solaris Ariasis, and I am the messenger for the Elohim. I am a master in the order of Melchizedek, a messenger for God, the angels, the seraphims, the cherubims, and all that is. And at that point I was like, who said that? Because I was kind of embarrassed sometimes spiritually. People are going to think I'm nuts. But I see my reverend and my minister, she cried. And she said, oh my God, I got anointed right away. And I believed in her before, beyond the shadow of a doubt. Beyond the shadow of a doubt. And we left it there. And so as time has gone by, I created, and I like it because this was a group that validated, and that's what I'd like to have, that validates everybody's journey and who you can be and how you can be the maximum part of yourself. So she was saying to everybody, step up to the plate and be who you really are. While everybody was using their brain and thinking what they were going to say, I allowed it to come all with me. Well, that was just the beginning. Here we are 25 years later, and I am guiding people in the order of Melchizedek. This is why, the reasons why this mysterious being, Melchizedek, I later met while having a crystal layout that I do on you so that you can meet your guides. Said a lot of things for the universe and helped a lot of people on radio and so forth. And I even wrote a book with all his predictions. The Divinity Within You. Participating in your own evolution. See, we must participate in many ways. Changing our thoughts, changing our views, watching how we speak to ourselves, and getting to know who you truly are. And just yesterday I found the message from her, Omia. Back in 2000 and something, and she passed away in 2009. But the last thing she told me was, wow, he did it. She was impressed that I had done the book that she had told me to publish. This Omian comes to me every now and then. She was my teacher. I can show you a picture of her. And she never failed to me. And when I saw things that I thought I was going crazy, she said, no, Joe, you're seeing what God wants you to see. So at that point, I started to trust and channel Melchizedek. And I had to adjust to the energy. Sometimes you needed to fall on the ground. It was too heavy. It was strong. It produced anxiety. But it was the vibration that I wasn't used to it. But I learned not to be afraid of that vibration and allow myself to vibrate. So that's why I'm asking you. Allow yourself to go beyond the fear and allow yourself to vibrate. And eventually you get used to the vibration. Your highest potential is awaiting you. And that's why I'm here to give you private services on how I coach you to become, so that you don't have to be afraid and alone because when there's two or more gathered in His name, I shall be there. And I have taught many people to connect with their angelic self, their spirit self, their God self, and be who they authentically is. This is a class in itself, and it may take one session, it may take 5 sessions, it may take 2 sessions. But I will always find direct revelation, which is what I wanted from God, and I've been getting it consistently. That's why I have people telling me, what you told me years ago or 2 months ago or whatever, it happens. I'm not alone, guys. I'm not working on my own. I'm working with many, and most of you are working with many guides, and you're not aware of it. I want to connect to see what you see. Thank you. One love. God bless, and namaste.